All right, welcome to the How to Talk to Your Republican Uncle podcast. My name is Lindsay. I am going to be your host for this lovely podcast, and welcome to episode 0, the pilot, where we talk about ourselves. Again, my name's Lindsay, and I can't feel my feet when I'm with you. This is my best friend, Hannah. We're just going to go ahead and start with introduction. So, Hannah, if you want to take it away.
Yeah, totally. So I'm Hannah. I guess the best way to describe me politically is I'm a pacifist leftist. So I want the government to actually work for us, but I don't want to have to hurt people to do that. So I am demisexual, which is part of the asexual spectrum. I'm a cat mom. I'm a dog aunt to Lindsay's Miss Daisy May and Cotton.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bachelor's in English, specifically creative writing, and I'm currently seeking publication for some books that I've written. I work in the insurance industry. I have a full-time job as an assistant. I really enjoy it. I'm a tea enthusiast. I absolutely love tea. I'm obsessed with Final Fantasy. It is 100% my actual life. Lindsay can attest to that, as can pretty much anybody who's ever met me.
Ever met you, yeah.
Yeah, I've been stuck in a room with me while I talk about it for 3 hours. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 tattoos, and I come from a primarily Republican family, Republican household. And so I'm kind of the, black sheep of my immediate family. So it's been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And Lindsay?
Yeah. So I am Lindsay. Like I said, that's my best friend Hannah. So a little bit about me is I started back in college in 2015, and then I left because I had a pretty significant spinal surgery. I am now back in school and about to graduate with my bachelor's of electronic media production with a certificate in interactive web design and development and a minor in criminal justice, which is a mouthful, but pretty much means I like to design stuff, make websites, and know about like social liberties and stuff like that. So after that, I plan on continuing to my master's, probably like arts administration, something like that. I currently work in the digital media creation and marketing field as well as web design field. So I'm in school full time. I also have 2 internships with a couple different nonprofits, and I am also working full time for a esports company that is a couple hours away from where I live. So it's pretty cool. I am a dog mom and a cat aunt to Hannah's Hazy, Mochi, Jinx, and Mittens, the queen of all queens. I also have 2 tattoos. My background, my parents are divorced, both remarried and divorced a couple times. My mom is a sweet little angel baby. She's Christian, Republican, loves scrapbooking. She pretty much would do anything for her family, but also kill anyone that hurt them. My dad was raised Jewish and now is atheist AF, also Democratic AF. He's a lawyer and has a PhD in geology. He pretty much, his only goal in life was to get student debt. And then who I call my...
Play with rocks.
Yeah. That's it. And then who I call my ex-mom, just because they're now divorced, who also raised me. She was is very spiritual, also very democratic, bit of a hippie. And then I also live with my partner. His name is Chris. He is very liberal. He also works in esports with me. He's full-time getting his master's. And he is also just like an innocent little angel baby. And he and Reed have the complete opposite aesthetic. Reed is like that goth, boyfriend that you want to date, and Chris,
goth BF.
Yeah, exactly. And Chris is just the blonde, silver-haired little angel baby that's wearing a blanket around the grocery store.
Yeah,
so.
Actual
Yeah. He always jokes that, he's Aryan, and since I have Jewish descent, it's a long con. Anyway, we'll get to that later. But, yeah, completely different episode. But yeah, so that's a little bit about us. I I'm super excited. Hannah and I have been working our butts off to get this ready. Um, we are very yin and yang in this scenario of I am like the digital designer. I'm really proud of our logo and the things that we've created and just spitting out ideas. And she is definitely the backbone of like research and fact checking and making sure that we know what's up. So it's really cool to be doing something like this with her. I mean, we sit on voice chat during the pandemic all day long anyway, working. So we might as well make something productive with our time.
Yeah.
Besides grinding through Final Fantasy 14.
Oh God, yeah. And I'm so glad that you introduced me as the fact checker, so that way whenever we report something wrong, everybody can get mad at me and not you.
Yeah, exactly. I am just an angel, and it's all Hannah's fault always.
She's the face, and I'm the one who does everything wrong.
um, so, no, that's pretty true. So no, Hannah's also an angel baby. If you guys come at her, I will come at you. But on a real note, that's a good transition to a big thing about this podcast is that we are both white women. So there are things that we're going to be talking about, like the Black Lives Matter protests, the George Floyd protests, various topics that we do not actually suffer from. We don't have
lived experience in these things. We're just two white girls trying their best at the end of the day. But knowing that and knowing that we don't have direct experience in these topics and in these issues, our goal is to really bring in people that do have direct lived experience and can really talk about these issues. And we want to elevate those voices and make sure that they are heard and their stories are heard. And we're just a platform for that.
Yeah, exactly. Super well said. And so we're going to have a lot of guests come on. We have a couple people already asking about it, but specifically just to bring in those perspectives that not only we don't have, but we don't really, neither of us feel really right having a Black Lives Matter episode and being two white women. Even though we were at the protest, it's still not... the podcast is definitely going to be used not only to elevate voices that normally wouldn't have that platform, but the biggest reason is how to talk to your Republican uncle. So with that being said, there's such a divide of left or right and such polarity in our country as is that, we are both identified liberals, but we are going, and yes, we will be making fun of Republicans. And yes, it is. I mean, I'm sure I'll be really bad at it. But the biggest point is that we want to be able to debunk these facts, debunk these myths. And make them into facts, and also just equip people with not only news and a good laugh on the way to work, but just to be able to really, allow people the opportunity instead of just, just don't talk politics. Like, if it gets brought up, like this, stay educated, stay woke, So these are important topics that need to be talked about. And it's also totally okay to joke and be like, yeah, sometimes your Republican uncle says stuff on Facebook that you just have to be like, all right, the birds are watching. We get it,
Yeah, right. Oh, geez. Well, yeah. And so our goal with this, obviously, to bring you guys news, to elevate voices, to make sure we're getting a lot of different opinions. But ultimately, we want everybody to be able to talk about this. Like, we are all citizens of the United States. We all should have our own opinions about these things, and we should be able to share those things with our family. And, maybe your Republican uncle is a brother or a coworker or, any kind of loved one that you just wish you could broach the subject with and aren't really quite sure how to start doing that or how to move forward when you've reached an impasse. Just I feel like all of us have gone through that and have really tried to just think like, oh, maybe if I can just get through, then I'm sure that like maybe, you know, maybe I won't be able to change their minds, but we can at least have like a good conversation that doesn't involve shouting at the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day. And that's the first step, you know? So hopefully everything that we talk about can help facilitate that for you.
Yeah, definitely. And, again, that being said, yes, that is our main goal, is bridging that conversation. But also, like, we're gonna obviously have a liberal bias, and that's and I don't think neither. Yeah. And I don't think Hannah and I are either really gonna hide that. And there's definitely gonna be different segments and different things that we do on the show that are specifically just making fun of some of the Republican rhetoric. And that's, it is what it is. So
Well, yeah, because at the end of the day, like it's important. Like, yes, everybody can, you know, have their own beliefs and everything, but I hate the idea that like, oh, you're not allowed to believe something strongly just
mhm.
because, you know, you might like somebody might disagree with you. Like, you can believe things strongly and you can still have debates about them, and that's the whole point, is you
Mhm.
don't have to sacrifice your conviction and sacrifice your beliefs in order to have these conversations with people who may not necessarily agree with you. So we're going to be memeing. We're going to be, oh, that sounded so cringy.
We gonna be memeing out here, boys.
But we're going to be having fun. We're going to be making fun of stuff. And, you know, we're going to be serious but fun. And we're going to have facts, but also just vibing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to be a nice time.
It'll be
Nice little political time.
Yeah, it'll be really, really fun. So we're gonna have, again, those updates, those quizzes, those tomfoolery, and because these times are rough as hell, dude. So like, we just need to laugh, and I think it's really okay to be like even laugh at ourselves sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a little extreme at points, but again, we're really excited to get this started. We are Lindsay and Hannah. This is the How to Talk to Your Republican Uncle podcast. You can follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at HTTTYRU or Hutataru, and and then on Facebook at Republican Uncle. Or you can just type in how to talk to your Republican uncle. We also have a couple guest forms. If you ever want to be the guest on the show, or you want to get in contact and talk about something that's like important to you, we would absolutely love to have you. But aside from that, we're both millennials and constantly on online looking at new stuff. So feel free to reach out through our socials. And yeah, super short and quick. This is, again, just the pilot about us. We're really excited. I think next we have a couple really exciting things scheduled down the pipeline to talk about.
Very exciting.
But yeah, and I think last thing to be said is, if you have anything that you disagree with that we say, we want to know about it too. This is not just a podcast to be like, man, left only,
You can talk to your Republican uncle, but don't talk to us.
Yeah, we don't want to hear it. All right, like this is how to diss Republicans. Yeah.
Tell us, tag us, whatever you want.
Yeah, and if there's something
the
that
conversation.
Yeah, if there's something that is said that straight up you're like, I don't know if fact checker Hannah is right, or I don't know if Lindsay's smooth brain really understands that, then like, let us know, dude. I mean, we'll tear you apart on Twitter, and it'll be great. No, I'm just kidding. It's totally safe. But all right, well, that's it from us. Just an intro, just a brief about us. Super excited. Stay tuned, and yeah, I think that's really it. So we're excited to get started. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.